It's Perp back with another video, and I just got done watching Scare Me, and finally I get around to watching this. This came out a while ago on Shudder. If you don't got Shudder, Shudder has some of the best horror movies. One being Host, which I have a review of. Y'all can go check that out in the description below with all my other movie reviews. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow me on Twitter at PerpMinded420. Now, this was such an interesting movie to watch. It's best that you go into this movie completely blind, not knowing anything. This is starring Josh Rubin, and he's also directing it, and he wrote the screenplay and everything. And you got Aya Cash, better known as Stormfront from The Boys. So if you're a fan of The Boys and you love Stormfront, you should definitely check out this movie. Go subscribe to Shudder. It's like literally $5, $6 for the month. They give you a 7-day free trial, yada yada yada. Shameless plug, even though I'm not sponsored by Shudder, but I should be. I definitely want to check out more content that's coming on Shudder. But pretty much, essentially, this whole entire story is about these two characters. We have Fred, played by Josh Rubin, and then we have another character named Fanny, played by Aya. I don't know how you would really pronounce it, but let's just call her Stormfront for just for fun. This story is pretty surprisingly funny. It's very unique. I've never seen a horror movie quite like this one. It might not be your cup of tea, but I think by the end of it, you might be surprised and you might actually like it. The ending for me was okay. I just liked everything before that because there is a lot of foreshadowing. These two characters are both, writers. Fred being the unsuccessful writer and Fanny being the more successful writer. And they really play on just how things are going with kind of like the whole female empowerment movement that's going on in Hollywood. They kind of poke fun at that. I can appreciate that, but I really like the setup of this whole entire movie. They end up in a cabin together because there's this huge blackout, whatever, and they decide to go tell horror stories and go back and forth trying to scare one another. And I really like the sound design as they're telling these stories. It really kind of makes you unsettle, and then it all makes sense by the end of it. That's why I said the ending is very interesting to me, and just the whole overall premise where they're kind of just pretty much ad-libbing or improvising just like these stories, and who has the better scary stories, who's the better writer, and egos and jealousy gets involved and whatnot. And it's a very well layered kind of story. I like these type of horror movies that are kind of self-contained. There's not too many characters. There is a third party in this whole overall movie, but I'll say that you don't really see that person till later on in the movie. He's not really that big of a deal, but he plays I would say a pivotal part for Fred's character, because Fred is really trying to be the best writer that he could be, but then he just keeps getting knocked down by Franny. And it's interesting too, because you feel like they're becoming friends, but then you just feel like you can sense that there's friction there. There's something behind the scenes that just isn't being told until the right moment, and I can really appreciate that. And I think as a horror fan, I could say I really like this. It's unique. It's not your typical stuck in a cabin in the woods type of story. They kind of mix it up and kind of throw you through a loop, because you feel like, is this supposed to be a comedy or is this a horror? It's both, but I enjoyed it. You should definitely go check it out on Shudder. But until next time, I will see y'all later. Peace.